What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at how the home sim performs with Microsoft Flight Sim Sim Update 10 multi-monitor support in the full release with the latest Nvidia 517.48 driver. Stick around. Alright everyone, so just a quick recap on the type of tests we're going to do. Basically, I'm going to see how Microsoft Sim Update 10 works with multi-monitor support on my three 55-inch TVs running at 2K resolution in both DirectX 11 and DirectX 12. I'm going to see which one's better and what my thoughts are on them. Alright, so let's jump on over into the sim, take a look at my baseline settings here, the kind of frames we're getting, and go over all the details here. Alright, so here we are, we're loaded into the sim. We're on the main GA parking ramp at my home airport of Republic facing to the west. I have the few clouds weather preset in, and we're looking at about 36 to 37 FPS here in DirectX 11. So just a quick disclaimer, while I am recording this from my main PC, just because it's easier to demonstrate and kind of zoom in on the frame counters and the settings themselves, I am configured in multi-monitor mode here, which we see the resolution, full screen, and the offsets for the left and right screens. Okay, over to the settings tab. This is how we're all set up here. I'm in TAA. I have done a couple of tests with DLSS, and at least for my use case, it's not impressive to me. I pretty much get the same frame rates that I do now, which is with a degradation in image quality. So scrolling down, I use the terrain LOD of 200. Off-screen terrain pre-caching I set to low, since in the home sim my head isn't really panning around with the view. Everything's kind of all preloaded in. I usually don't have any issues with that, and it actually gains me a couple FPS. We'll just scroll down here so you can see the rest of the settings. Okay, so spoiler alert, I actually get much better performance in the DX12 beta. It's really come a long way. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, and then we'll do our fine tuning and kind of go over the settings, and we'll see which sliders and settings seem to impact frames the most. All right, so we're loaded back in on the ground here. We're in DirectX 12. We have the same graphical settings that we had before, and we're averaging about 44, 43, 45 FPS now, which is up substantially from the DirectX 11 frame rates. And here we have the frames side by side. All right, and just have one more look at the settings here. In DX11, when I changed from 11 to 12, it seems like some of the settings were changed. So I went back just to do one final test to have a true one-to-one comparison, because I didn't catch that on the first pass here. And I went through and I actually set everything here to match exactly what the DX11 settings were. So I went and set that, and just to double check the frame rates here, we'll apply and save. And we still did gain FPS, so it wasn't due to any changes or discrepancies between the change from 11 to 12. I'm not sure why it changed some of my settings, but all in all, I have the same settings with the exception of the off-screen terrain pre-caching now on Ultra. We're sitting at 45, almost 46 FPS here for pretty much the same setting. All right, so just some closing thoughts from me. It seems that DirectX 12 is the way to go, especially on this newest Nvidia driver. I am running some pretty robust hardware here. We're on an i9 12900K, 32 gigs of DDR5, and a RTX 3090. But we are running a pretty heavy setup here. We have three 4K 55-inch TVs, but I am running them at the 2K resolution. And all in all, I really couldn't be happier to drive this many pixels and still get in the 40s in FPS in a fairly populated area is pretty impressive to me. Also to note, one thing that I did notice from changing all these settings, and I know I did kind of go through it fast, but in between those clips, I was kind of analyzing the imagery to see, is there a big loss in image quality? And quite honestly, with the exception of obviously the terrain LOD, when you're up high, you're going to notice, and the clouds, messing with a lot of these settings really didn't yield that much of a degradation in the image quality, which is pretty impressive. Sometimes the shadows, I think in some cases the shadows look a little degraded, But for the most part, even those settings don't attribute to a big loss or gain in an FPS. It's maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 max I've seen in either direction. So overall, pretty impressed with all the settings and what they do and how they manipulate the image and the frame rates. All right, everyone. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below how Sim Update 10 is running for you. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and bell notification for future videos. Also, if you'd like to see the home sim live in action, you could catch me on twitch.tv/AviatorChris. Be well and fly safe.